Hey, we're back again for part 2. We're actually going to switch gears a little bit. Instead of continuing on the lid, where is it? Right here. I already sanded in and all that and cut the cable mounts off, so I'll weld that in and smooth it up and who knows what. But right now, I'm going to take this, and this is the manifold that was on the mill. We need to take and cut these holes out a little bit, more or less bevel them. There are some stainless pipe plugs down in the bottom. There used to be mechanical injection on this, and these upper holes would have been for a fogger setup like this manifold has. And this is what I want it to look like. So I've already done this side, and I actually did it twice on one runner. I wasn't sure where exactly I wanted to put my weld bungs for my injectors for the placement of this fuel log, and it ended up with the height of them, look here, like this. I wasn't going to have space dealing with this upper part of the manifold to get this fuel log out of there for any kind of maintenance if you need to, you know, send out your injectors to have them cleaned and flowed. So I ended up welding the holes back shut and moving them out. Let me think. I started out with 11/16 in from the edge, and now I have them all 7/16 in to the outside edge of the hole to receive the weld bung. So get a good look at it. We're going to line all these up, you know, side by side, 2 per runner or 2 per cylinder, like this. It's going to look pretty good. And up inside, you can see they fit pretty nicely. They're close to the wall, but you got to remember that there's also this wall thickness of the weld bung too. So yeah. So in this video, we'll be cutting out these plugs and making these holes kind of like opened up like this, so that I can penetrate pretty good with the welder and then just build it in from the outside. And then I'll sand it smooth like I did on this side, you can see, and put her up on the mill and cut into it. Probably in this video though, we'll just drill these out and weld them up shut, and then the next video I'll machine the other bungs in from this side. Okay? All right, let's get to it. Alright, now this isn't too hard. I don't even have to zero anything. I just kind of eye up the bit and drop her down in. I have a cobalt bit, so you can drill hard metal with those. Won't give me any trouble in these stainless pipe plugs. Actually, what I like to do is kind of figure out where I'm at before I do any drilling. Looks about right. Maybe a smidge more. All right, we're going to go with that. Not bad. What I need is a little bit of oil. Should have some cutting oil, but I don't have any. Better than nothing. All right, pretty simple. And what I'm gonna do next is take one of these, it's called a countersink, and I'll replace the drill bit with the countersink, and then it'll give me a nice, larger tapered hole to easily get down to the bottom of and make some circles while I'm welding out towards the top. Okay. Good. All right. And we're done. Now it's time to get over to the weld bench and fill these holes up, sand them off smooth, and we'll cut the injector holes in. Paintbrush makes quite a versatile tool. Not only for painting. All right, let's get to it. Well, here we are, ready to weld these holes shut, and then I can machine the bungs on the other side for the injectors. So let's turn on this welding machine and get it going. All right, now it's time to cut for the injector bungs. Okay, so the first thing I have to do now that I have the manifold back up on the table here is align it up with the table. So when we go from port to port, the holes will end up at the same spot. Okay, my table of course is lined up. My head on the machine is square with the table, you know, this way and that way. Of course, the knee goes in and out. The x-axis is here, and this is the y-axis. We need to get the x squared up to go across. So I've put this indicator with the button on the bottom, so it can go across slightly uneven surfaces, but you kind of look at it and get an average. Okay, so I will come towards the button and then up a little bit towards it again, have it set on 0, and I'll take it to we'll take it to 30. All right, then I'm going to go back and forth and see how much it moves. got 25. So need to tap it this way some. Just bump it. I might actually have to, I have it slightly snugged, but I'm gonna loosen a little bit so it taps easier. Make that 30. Snug it down again. And when I snug it, it goes away from 30. So I'm gonna put an offset in it, make it 32. When I tighten it, it comes to 29. Okay, so loosen it again. Make it 33. Bring back to 30 when it's tight. Okay, now we'll go across. I got 32.5. I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. I mean, that's one hair. So that's what I'm gonna go with. And it is already tight, so what I'll do now is drop this down. There, gauge goes back to 0. And I will get that gauge out of there. Let me grab my pliers. This little knurled thumb screw in here. Had to snug it up pretty good. Being careful of how small the thread is, that I don't strip it out of the machine. Otherwise this thing moves around a good bit. A 6 flute, 3/4 inch center cutting cobalt end mill. Oh, where's my little drive? There it is. Okay. All right. 18. Okay. Now I'm gonna go down. Or rather, I'm gonna go, I'll just go and make a pass to find my starting point. So we'll start up here, like this. And I'm just gonna bring the manifold forward and go by eye. Get very close. Okay, we're clear so far. I'm going to pull it in and just touch off. Okay, I hear it. Now I'm going to go and make a pass. I will 0 my Y. So this is my Y. And I want to know where I'm at when I actually start cutting. So that's why I'm 0'd right now, because I touched off of here. When I get to the other end, I'll see if it also touches. Yep. Okay. So we're going to go with that. That'll be our 0 on the y-axis. I will shut the tool off. I can drop down. Once I get past the runners, it draws in a little bit, so I'm not worried about like dragging on my cutter. So the next thing I do is I know that I want to come in 7/16 off of the edge. I want the outside of my hole to be 7/16 from the edge that I just made. Okay, so I need to take the thickness of the bit plus 7/16. Okay. So we'll go to our calculator here and add those together. So 1/16 is 62.5 thousandths, and 7/16 is 437.5 thousandths. So we have 1 inch and 187.5 thousandths that we need to move in. And then we'll re-zero. 1.1875. Lock my table so it doesn't move from there. The next thing I do is come down a little bit and I'll go side to side. I realized that my close-up camera was not focused where I was actually cutting since I moved my table up and down, so I'll go over what I did again. So I touched off each side in the port, and then divided that measurement in half to find center, and then off of center I moved over a predetermined amount that I had thought over earlier, kind of decide how much space to give me to put a weld between the bungs when I weld on the outside of the manifold, but not have the injectors too close to walls as they function spraying fuel on the inside. So I've already made one cut and readjusted the camera so we can see the second one. Now I will unlock the table and traverse 15-30 seconds or 468 thousandths the other way. Here we go, last hole. There she's peeking through. There we go. And that's it. righty. Now the next thing will be to make injector bungs and weld them in. After that, we'll have to do the fuel logs and a little standoff mount for them as well. Probably put it right here in the middle, right in line with the divider. At least hopefully. All right. We'll get her off the table here and prepare for the next job. Well, we got done with that part of it. As you can see, I've got 8 holes for injectors on this side and 8 more on this side. So we'll go ahead and make a whole bunch more of these bungs for welding in these holes. Go just like this. It's going to look pretty nice having 8 of those across each side with a big old monstrous fuel rail in here like this. I really like it. So that's what will be in the next video. I have 3 or 6 feet of this 3/4 inch OD, 1/2 inch ID, but I got to cut it out to like 535, 540 ID for these particular injectors. And of course cut it to about, what is this, 1 3/4 length, 2 inch length, whatever I need to put it where I want it here and have enough room to weld around the top but not have the injector too far out of the airflow. And then we'll get to welding them in, and once they're all welded in, we will measure them out and cut the rails to match. And of course then I have to, let me see here. I've got this big old 3/4 inch hydraulic line tap for AN fittings. So I might have to, I don't know if I might have to cut these out a little bit before I tap them. I'll have to look that up. It's been a while since I did all the figuring. But yeah, building it myself. So stay tuned for part 3. We'll see you there.